Hiya. So I was getting a few questions on Reddit about how I made this workflow. Basically what this workflow is going to do is take an action from your iPhone to launch TeamViewer. If you're like me, you want to get into your Mac or your PC, but you forget that you have to actually open TeamViewer up first. This is a way of launching TeamViewer remotely. So using Automator, which is this here, you'll notice that I'm using the new Mac OS X, but this will still work. So what we're doing is we're first of all setting the Automator action to look for this file. This is a file called test. Now, instead of find it, this is a Dropbox file called test. Cool. So really easy. The first bit of script we're doing is a simple Apple script, and it is as simple as can be. Tell application check it works by hit and run. There you go. It's easy as that. So basically what we're saying here is if any file is dropped into here, in the test folder, tell the application TeamViewer to launch. So now we've got the Automator action in on the Mac. Next step is to use our iPhone to go into if this then that and create a workflow. So the workflow we're going to create is if we receive an Automator action. So if we receive an action from Launchpad, where is it gone? There it is. Difficult to do this left-handed. I'm just going to call this trigger test. Then Dropbox. And what we're going to do is we're going to say create a text file. So we're going to finish that there. Now this is the really important part. While this is creating while this is creating the recipe, we need to change where it goes to in Dropbox. It will default into a if this then that folder. We need to tell it to go to a certain area. So just while waiting for that to load, my internet isn't particularly brilliant. I'll be back in a second. Great, so that's just loaded, so there you can see that. So we're going to say edit. We're going to say, so you see how the path here has gone to Launch Center. Now that file we made before on the Mac was called test, so we're just going to make that / test and update. Brilliant. So what we need to do now is go into Launch Center and create a new workflow. So if we pop into here, we'll pop one just to the side there, and we'll call it a test. The action composer is a if this then that action, but I can never remember where it's hiding. How's it gone? Oh, there you go. So what we're going to do is recipe. We're going to call both these test. Really important here that the recipe, the trigger name matches exactly the trigger that was written in Dropbox. Done. So really simple there. When this is pressed, launch that. So we'll hit done. Done again. Oh, it backs up. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to scroll across to hit test. So go to test, and what that does, that runs the trigger off. If we flip the camera around to here, go. You see the Dropbox file go on the top there, and you should see TeamViewer pop up in a second. I was a bit too ahead of myself there. What I need to do is save this against that file. Set fine, entitled, done. Okay, so now if we come into here, we go Mac, test, that runs the trigger. You should see at the top here, we should get a Dropbox file drop in. There you go, that hits the action off, and there's TeamViewer. Simple as that.